Hey, what's up? It's me, Timothy, here again, doing chapter 10 this week. The case of seeing below the fold. This case was very interesting to me because I completely agree with the newspaper staff at the university. I feel like they were adamant about getting their story out, and no one was saying anything, so they took it upon themselves to get it out. So, very understandable. We'll get to all that in a second. In March 2011, Vinny Vella, who was the editor-in-chief of the newspaper at LaSalle University, got a random tip about one of their business professors. And this tip basically said that the business professor, Rappaport, had strippers at his extra credit seminars. Now, this is already weird, like having exotic dancers at your school of, place of work, but also this is a Catholic school, so it was very, a lot of eyebrows were raised. So Vinny Vella sent his editor, Luke Harrell, to go look into the tip and see what it was, and he got what he needed, and he had a story ready to publish, and the dean denied its release. The dean told both of them that the story could not be released until the school's lawyers finished their investigation on the whole situation. During this time where they're waiting, they're still, getting more information. They're talking to students that went to the seminar itself, and they're agreeing to be a part of the story, and they're just waiting for a response from anybody in power to get this story out. They were always told eventually, you can post it eventually, you can release it eventually, and there still was no specific date. But on April 8th, 2011, Philadelphia City Paper released the same story that was written by the University of LaSalle students. And this was written by an intern who so happened to also be a LaSalle student as well. And this story went viral, and it wasn't the original LaSalle University paper story. So pretty much everyone, all the journalists that were pushing to get this story out, they felt very betrayed, just not getting a set answer, and there's other people writing the story. And this wasn't the first story that they were told to wait on or just didn't get a release date or the green light to release it. And the stories that they were able to publish were very watered down. I think the school very much wanted to keep its image clean. It is a Catholic school, so all the bad things that were happening, they didn't want to bring it to light. They wanted them to water them down pretty much. So all this time, they're still waiting to release the story. Like, even though the story is already out, they're still waiting to release their story. This is like probably the most direct story there is. But once again, they were still being told to wait and wait and wait and wait, and they were giving a date, April 14th. And at this time, Vinny Vella asked if he could put the story above the fold, which is the space of the newspaper where a lot of the important stories go on. But of course, they told them that they were not allowed to put it above the fold. It had to be below the fold. This pretty much pissed everyone off even more, and the newspaper staff took it upon themselves to kind of just put the story out themselves. So the journalists actually got the paper out, and above the fold, they put "see below the fold," and then below the fold, they put the story down. And also just reasons why they were being, kind of just like left in the dark about when to release their stories, things like that. So they did that on their own will and with their own minds, and of course they didn't go over it quite well. But if they hadn't done this, I think personally this story would have never gotten out. There was dates given, but the dates were not held up to, and no one seemed to really want to push the story, and they've had it for so long. It makes me think about, like, if something happened at our school and our newspaper staff wasn't able to report something that happened on our campus, like, that doesn't really make any sense to me. But they definitely did go against the system with putting it out this way, but it definitely did what it needs to do. The story got out, and it had a bigger impact than they expected it to have. That kind of goes along with the ethics of the group. I think they all meant well. They wanted the story to get out. It was a very weird situation, honestly. And the school that they attend to really is a very Catholic school, so they want a lot of stuff swept under the rug and things like that. But they felt that it was important enough to go against the rules, I guess, and say what's right and to bring awareness to the situation. So that is all I have for chapter 10. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.